2 months. She actually owes you 3 because her sworn statement of account shows that you were delinquent for July, and when you paid the rent in July, that was for June. Excuse me, you also seem to have been relying upon your lover, your girlfriend, to pay it for you, and she didn't.
Able to pay
in the discussion.
No, that's not how it works.
Oh, yes, it is. No. Open your mouth one more time.
Your Honor, she
$100 assessment under the authority I have for that administrative assessment.
Your Honor, she was living there.
$200.
Your Honor, if she lived there, why couldn't she pay some of it if she lived there?
$400.
Then shut up.
Tell me where the freak's at.
Two women move in together, but it's not exactly home sweet home. Hairstylist Kristen Miller is suing her former roommate for 2 months' rent. Defendant Miranda Banks says the plaintiff's pot smoking forced her to move. Now, here's Judge Joe Brown.
The defendant is being sued by the plaintiff for non-payment of rentals, and there was a move out without notice, you say?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you never signed any lease or had any agreement.
We did have a verbal
And you say there was a problem with the plaintiff's girlfriend staying in the house, her house. It was a house, not an apartment. And she would smoke a little too much of that ganja, and you didn't want it getting in your clothes because you were desirous of becoming a correctional officer.
I actually, at that point, was a corrections officer.
You were on your probationary period.
That's right, sir.
Okay. How did this all occur?
I met Miranda in October through a friend, and I went on a cruise in the end of October, beginning of November, came back in November.
And your roommate was gone?
He gave me 2 days' notice, yes.
You were buying this home, is that right?
Yes.
You had a mortgage?
Yes.
How many roommates did you have total, including the defendant, when she was there?
My son and I lived upstairs, and my girlfriend moved in towards the end of her being there.
Her?
Her.
One girlfriend?
No, she was not paying rent there. She just moved in.
Oh, her girlfriend moved in?
Well, her girlfriend moved in right after she did.
So that's her girlfriend and her. I thought her girlfriend was actually paying the rent for her.
Her girlfriend paid the rent for her in the month of June.
It seems fair to split
Was
the
there
rent.
any other person paying rent?
No.
Now, did both of them move out at the same time?
No.
The girlfriend stayed there?
No, her girlfriend moved out before she did.
Okay. When did she move in?
She moved in the end of November.
What date?
She didn't have...
What date?
November 30th.
So the rental period would be from December 1st. She tendered you what? First rental?
She didn't have it right away.
Didn't have it. It was $650 per month.
At the time...
When did she pay it?
No, it started out as $600.
$625.
Well, when did she give you the first $600?
It wasn't until the end of December, beginning
So
of January.
sometime at the end of December, she gave you $600.
$625.
Okay, you forgave her for the lateness, so that became the payment for December. All right, what'd she give you for January?
January,
$600?
January, it was never $600. January, she moved in a hound dog, and I had told her that I didn't want a dog, and so I asked her if she would please pay.
Well, she's going to be a correctional official. You know, they have hounds after the escapee.
Evidently, but it barked all night and kept me up until 5 o'clock in the morning.
She moved in the dog.
So
I guess the dog was getting a contact going on, you know, hey.
There's never been anything smoked in my home, ever.
Now, she's complaining about your girlfriend. So that's why I was asking how many people. But anyway, she's complaining about her dog was getting the contact high and couldn't pass the P test.
My son has reactive airways disease, and there is no smoking at all whatsoever
I
in my house.
I understand.
There was never smoking in the house.
Now, when did she tell you she was going to move out of here?
She never did. She just moved out.
When did she move out?
When she showed up with the U-Haul, she told me that she'd hit a deer with her car.
When did she show up?
August 4th.
What?
August 4th.
August 4th.
She showed up with the U-Haul.
So she never told you she was moving out?
She never said she was moving out.
So you got a tale from her that she was not moving out. She'd got something wrong with the vehicle.
She never said anything about moving out.
Okay, now, you noticed eventually that her stuff was gone.
Right. When I went downstairs and saw that her stuff was gone, I sent her a text message.
That was the evening of August 4th.
Right. I sent her a text message.
And when you wound up inquiring, she told you life happens, quote unquote.
That's what she said,
So
Your Honor.
you say she had not paid the July rent.
Yes, I did pay July rent.
In
you never
full.
paid July. Yes, I did pay
Stop,
June. I paid
ladies.
June.
Stop it.
I paid July
Stop
rent.
it.
I was not living there, but
Wait your turn.
She had not paid you the July rent.
Right.
August 4th, you see her show up with a U-Haul, and by that evening, you noted all of her stuff was gone.
Correct.
So you claim you're owed for July and August rent, and the money spent changing the locks,
Yes,
and she
Your Honor.
didn't return the key.
I lost the key. How can you return a key you don't have?
Stop interjecting. Okay?
I'm just telling the truth.
Don't interject.
It's the truth.
Wherever did you get the idea that you can engage in this kind of cross-talk like you're going after the person that's conducting the hearing tells you to stop? Now, you've established your prima facie case. Now, we'll go to you. You have the floor. There was no written lease, right?
There's no written lease. No, Your
What
Honor.
difference does that make?
Because there's no written contract.
So, do you think they had a written lease in Robin Hood's time?
No, Your Honor.
I say, Little John, would you make your mark right here? Most people couldn't read or write.
Well, maybe that's why they didn't have contracts, Your Honor.
Well, what do you mean they didn't have contracts?
Well, if they couldn't read or write.
We're watching court in session, and we want to find out what the people are thinking. So we asked the gallery to vote to tell us if they think the plaintiff is making her case. We'll be back with those results a little bit later.
Month-to-month basis. Now, when did you move out?
August 4th.
Did you give her a notice?
Nope.
You did not. Why did you move out?
Because I was worried about getting a
Well, what about
contact.
the dog?
Well, I tried to contact her a few days in a row. She didn't respond to me, so I got my dog.
And you're not with the Department of Corrections because you were dating an inmate at one of the other Department of Corrections facilities.
No, that is
You didn't know
no,
that
she was-
either. That's from you.
We'll be right back with Judge Joe Brown.
You were associating
With a coworker from
with
the
a
restaurant.
person who was incarcerated at another facility.
She was not from my facility.
The defendant in this case contends that she was free to leave at any time since there was no written contract. She blames the plaintiff's pot smoking for her sudden departure. Earlier, we asked the gallery if they thought the plaintiff was making her case. 80% thought that she was, while 20% did not. Now, let's see what the judge thinks.
You were associating
With a coworker from
with
the
the
restaurant.
person who was incarcerated at another facility, just like you didn't understand my admonition to be quiet and apparently couldn't understand procedure. You couldn't understand that either.
I read the written policy of my department, and that was not in the policy.
You're stupid enough to be associating with an inmate who might be transferred through the aegis of the Department of Corrections to your facility.
She was not from my facility. She was from another facility.
Well, she could have been transferred at the behest or requirements or discretion of the Department of
At which
Corrections.
case I would have gone to my captain.
And you have an answer for everything, which is why they fired you, because it's not just the letter of the law, it's the spirit of the law. We have a periodic, a month-to-month tenancy. It doesn't have to be in writing. That means the period of the rental is 30 days from December 1st to the end of the month, 31st, and then from January 1st, etc., to the end of the month, which means you have to give a full 30-day notice. Therefore, you owe her for the entirety of August. Also, since there must be at least a full 30-day notice, that means you are also liable for the month of September. So you only ask for 2 months. She actually owes you 3 because her sworn statement of account shows that you were delinquent for July, and when
That
you
is not the
paid the
case.
rent in July, that was for
paid
June.
July.
Excuse me, you also seem to have been relying upon your lover, your girlfriend, to pay
No,
it for
because
you,
she-
and she
she was
didn't.
able to pay
In
some
the
of it.
discussion,
No, that's not how it works.
oh yes it is.
No.
Open your mouth one more time.
Your Honor, she was living
$100
there.
assessment under the authority I have for that administrative assessment.
Your Honor, she was living there.
$200.
Your Honor, if she lived there,
$300.
why couldn't she pay some of it if she lived there?
$400.
That's
$500. It's another 100 on that. You get your award. It's $19.49, and I'll give you half of the administrative assessment. That'll be $22.49.
This courtroom is now in recess.
The defendant didn't hesitate to tell the judge she left without notice. That's really what matters. She did not provide an excuse that would get her out of that lease she's going to have to pay.